Where did all the shad and all the largemouth go? It is late fall and they've just disappeared. The water temp is 58 degrees and they're not chasing shad? Well, I've got a trick for you. That's right, geeks. For me, I know in the Highlands Reservoir and the clear lakes that I fish, that once the lakes have turned over, the shad tend to go to the banks, and so do the largemouth. And the largemouth, they love to go to the trees. And you've heard me talk about this before, but I have got a combination that I've used for the past couple of years that is actually incredible to go probe those laydowns, those brush piles, those trees. It is tremendous, it is subtle, but it is deadly, especially when you drop into that 62 to 58 when those bass, especially those largemouth, smallmouth, they start feeding around that time. Those largemouth, they pull up on the bank and they'll load up in those laydowns, brush piles, marinas, docks, anywhere where there's a little extra warmth. Let me show you how to do this. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about from First Gen Baits. This is called the split blade spinnerbait blade. This particular color is my go-to. It is called Blurch. I like a bluegill pattern spinnerbait this time of year when they go, especially those largemouth, go to the wood. And that's what this represents. Now we'll talk about trailers here in just a minute, but I want to talk to you about the components of this spinnerbait. Two of my favorite times in these Highlands lakes to throw a spinnerbait is fall and post-spawn. So post-spawn, spring, and fall. And it's right now, late fall, when they're not out there chasing shad, the largemouth have pulled to the bank into the trees. And this is what I love. Right off the bat, you can see you've got this gold, kind of black, gold brown sort of blade. And then you've got a little bit of flash, you've got a little bit of brown and silver blade in there. Now this wire is a very light wire. Something that's great about that is when you're coming through those trees, those laydowns like I like to fish, or around those docks, you're going to get a little bit of vibration out of this blade as it comes. So it's really going to shake and shimmy. The other thing is the head. It's going to come across things well. So you can see it's got a nice flat bottom. It's got some great eyes built in, and it's got an incredible skirt that's hand tied onto the bait. Now, we're going to talk about trailer a little bit because as you can see, and this is pretty much why I love First Gen so much. Look at the detail on the trailer keeper and how they work that back and put a little fin on basically the keeper, a part that you don't think you're ever going to see. So they pay attention to detail, and that's a big deal to me. Now the trailer, you're going to have to cut just a little bit shorter than you normally would, but I'll show you my favorite in just a few seconds. Like I said earlier, I picked up a few different colors. This is the one I'm going to be throwing today, and this is again called Blurch. It's always good to have a few different colors though, especially this time of year. So one of the colors we picked up was white gold. We picked up a glimmer shad. Those smallmouth love a little chartreuse white. This is called purple haze. And last but not least, sexy shad. Now they do come in a few different sizes, like this is a 3/4, this is a 1/2 ounce. I don't remember what all sizes they come in, but that's sort of my go-to sizes. I'll even go up to an ounce, which I don't think they make that big of one in this, but hey, if you're listening, I'd like it. Now, let's talk about rigging and trailers. Now there's really two trailers that I like to use doing this more than probably any of them. I don't like to put a trailer hook on because I am fishing right down. I am putting this thing right down in these blowdowns, laydowns, whatever you call them, brush piles, and I am letting it hit things, tick things, drop down in things. And so if I'm going to do something, I'm either going to use some sort of green pumpkin or watermelon red flake, or green pumpkin, you know, just straight up. This is one of my favorites. This is the X-Zone Swammer. This is the 3.5 inch. You might have to cut it down just a touch to keep it compact, because where they run the weight out, and this is at least got one of the better keepers. A lot of the ones that I've seen don't even have keepers when they run the weight out the hook shank like that. But it works perfectly. So let me show you how I rig that up to begin with. All right, so you want to run this just past, maybe a 1/2 inch past that keeper. So what I'll do is I'll lay that out there and I'll see where it's going to come out. Just kind of get it in mind. And then I'm just going to run it straight through the middle, come on back, and then just going to come straight out, like I said, just past that keeper. I don't want that to come back too far, so it's going to be just past that. It's going to give it good action. Something that I like to do, this is an avid angler, I swear this is the best chartreuse, but this is the best chartreuse marker. I just wished he made more in some other colors, and I'm just going to put a chartreuse tail on it. That's it, just the back side, and we are ready to go. So I'm going to change it up for you today. I'm going to show you the San Diego jam knot. And it ties almost the same exact way. So you still come up, you fold over, you still go about 5 to 7 times. This time you go through the bottom loop and then up through the top. And that is your traditional San Diego jam knot. Moisten, tighten, pull down, cut your tag in. All right, now we can go fish this sucker. So let's talk about rod, reel, line setup. This is the Douglas ERA, or the Era rod. Love these rods, $100 retail, and I've got a 10% off discount code right here. These things fish incredibly. You see me catching on their jig rod, on some of their spinning rods, that's the Airs. These are quickly becoming some of my very favorite rods, especially at that $100 price range. Now this is their chatterbait spinnerbait rod. It is the 715. It's 7'1" fast action rod, and you can throw everything on this rod from a 3/16 to a 3/4 ounce, which is what we'll be throwing today in the Blurch. When it comes to reel, I like a 6/8 to 1. This is probably a little bit better, and I've got some reels I'm going to change out this year. This is the Lose Custom Pro. Now they've upgraded it since then, but this is a great reel for lighter baits. It does the job for what we're doing here too, but 6/8 to 1, that speed, that allows me to be able to slow roll a spinnerbait or a chatterbait, or burn them back to me if the fish are super aggressive. Line, we of course have got K9, and this is one of those areas when I use their fluoro or their co-poly. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you stay around until the end, and I'll show you a video that really talks about line and usage for different situations. Their co-poly, or fluoro as they call it, is extremely durable. It does have a little bit of stretch, so you don't have to worry about pulling the bait away from the bass. It's also invisible, and it's neutrally buoyant. It won't take on water, so it's going to keep that bait at the correct depth level for longer for you. So make sure you go check them out. I got a 10% off discount code for them right here, and I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I think they might be coming to Tackle Warehouse, but you need to go check this out. They dropped a new product that is unbelievable, and we'll put that at the end of this video, links for that at the end of this video. So when I'm throwing this in the late fall, it's really mid to late fall, it's the stuff over my shoulder that you can see that I'm going to start targeting. And for me, for the largemouth, it really does seem like once you get into that 62 degrees and lower, it's when they kind of pull up in there. And we've been all over this lake today, and they're just not out here chasing shad right now. So they pulled up into this wood. Everything we've caught today, it's either been on this little split blade, it's been flipping or it's been on a jerkbait, and it's been out of the laydowns. We've not really found anything out here feeding. Now, that might be different where you live, but I will tell you, there will always be some pulled up. Those big bass pulled up this time of year around wood, feeding on those bluegill, those panfish. They're going to be in there eating very well and having a little better meal than some of that little rinky-dink shad that's out there in the middle of the lake right now. So really, the thing that I want to do when I fish this is I'm going to target those areas that a little closer to deeper water. It may be different for you, but I'm going to target those areas where I can just take this, throw it right up in the middle of those trees, and just beat and bang this and slowly work it down. I want to be hitting the wood. I want to be ticking the branches when I go by. Don't be afraid to get hung, because ringing the dinner bell by hitting those branches and tree trunks and boat dock, pylons is what's going to get you bit right now. And for me, again, the water temp today is 58 degrees. We're going to slow roll this bait. They're not super aggressive right now. They're not in the mood to chase. Again, that's largemouth, smallmouth, a little bit different. Spots are a little bit different, but when that water temp gets down, especially in these clear reservoirs, in that 62 to 58 and below, this is a way to put in a kicker. Now, one of the things that I can tell you, and I say this with a lot of different baits, don't swing when you feel the thump. Swing when you feel the load. So just keep reeling like you did. Once you feel it load up and you feel the weight of the fish, swing away and reel like crazy. We've got, I don't even think I told you this. I know I talked about fluoro, but we've got 12 to 15 pound. Most of the time, if I'm going to be doing this, it's going to be 15 pound fluoro. So we're going to get them out. This is a medium heavy rod, so we're going to get them out. We're going to lean on them once we feel them. We're going to drag them out, get them to the boat, and we're going to boat hop them in. That's what you need to do, because you're fishing that brush. Don't play them when you set the hook. They'll dig down in there and you will lose your bait. So go check out some of these split blades. They are extremely well made, compact spinner baits. You are going to love them. Some of the blade paint jobs are incredible. The head is incredible, but make sure you go check them out. Links will be in the description to everything, as always. Now, if you want to check out that other video we were talking about earlier, make sure you go right here. Otherwise, questions, comments in the comments section below. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell. Be part of that 100% Watch Squad, and you geeks rock.